Chris for MyMMAnews.com, being joined by Kat Nelson, and she's taking on Gloria DaCosta in just a couple days at XFN. And it's going down in Florida. They've done some big things with bringing MMA back, and I'm pleased to have my guest on now. Kat, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for joining me first and foremost. So, how excited are you to get back to somewhat of the normalcy of the fight world? I mean, with so much missing the past couple months, how exciting is it to get back in the cage and do your thing?
Well, the reason why I took the fight is, well, I did take it before quarantine, but I kept with it because it's keeping me sane, it's keeping me fit, keeping me looking forward to fighting. And I'm excited. I'm ready. Like I've been ready since I agreed to the fight, and I'm excited to get in there. I wish it would happen tomorrow, but 4 weeks. So, and I got to cut some weight.
So, needless to say, you've been staying ready. It's not anything that you feel rushed, like, oh, there's a fight card, I'm going to jump right in there. But I have to ask, with everything going on with the quarantine, have you been able to utilize all of your training? Like, you know, the gym, all that such. How have you been adapting?
I actually, the day the governor released the gyms and restaurants had to close, I contacted my coach, and I asked him if I could use some workout equipment and bring it home with me. And he said, of course. So I went over, I grabbed a bag, some dumbbells and weights, and I've been trying to do it like a little ghetto style. But I actually turned my garage into a gym now. So behind me you see wall pads.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on floor mats as well. I have a kicking bag. I have the whole shebang here. So,
I actually kind of assumed you were in the gym right now.
Yeah, this is my garage.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, and it benefits you down the road in the future too.
For sure, yeah. And I can have people come here too that live in the area, and we can train.
Now, obviously, I mean, you know, you can only go so far with the bags and the weights and everything. Sparring's a big part of combat sports. Have you felt that's been a little bit amiss lately?
Yes, because that does take other bodies, and it does take those people far. You know, they're not in fight camp, and we don't have a gym, and a lot of us aren't being active at the moment. But I do have really good people in my life. Mitchell Kamali, he's the promoter of Combat Night. I've been going over to his house a few times a week, and he has a little gym himself, and I've been sparring the people there because they're more my weight class.
So with MMA finally getting back in the state of Florida, how do you feel about UFC's cavalier approach to, you know, being the first sport back, and Florida being the sanctioning state, obviously where XFN is going to be located? How do you feel about that approach? Is it a little bit nervous because of maybe a little bit of fear?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the media is instilling fear in us, and things like the UFC having events is taking that fear away and bringing back kind of like a normalcy to life.
Yeah, agreed. Now, another thing, obviously, which is even adding more to the crazier time of MMA life, the empty arena. I've been asking every fighter that I've come across, because I'm truly interested in this, because I've had maybe a split 50-50. Some people say they like the idea of not having the pressure of other eyes on them. Some people are saying they thrive on the concept of all the eyes on them because, you know, obviously it's a momentum sport. Anything, you know, the momentum of the crowd can swing you either way. What's your take on it?
Well, I definitely feel like I thrive under the lights.
Yeah.
But I will experience the no fans in 2 weeks. The events that have been happening so far with the UFC, which they're professional fighters, the majority of them have been saying that they like it because they can actually hear their coaches and they can what's going on. So I think I'm going to definitely benefit from it.
Yeah, and a lot of the fans have actually really started to enjoy it because with all the huge strikes, everything like that.
Yeah.
But I'm curious with amateur fighting, obviously you rely huge on ticket sales, right? So with ticket sales not being available at this time, I mean, you'll have Flow Combat, which will be broadcasted. But is that maybe a little bit of an extra bummer, or is it that much more of a look? I'm dying to fight. I just want to get in there.
Pretty much, I want to get in there. I want the experience. I've been trying to use social media, which I think I've been excelling at, and I feel like I have a good amount of fans so far. So
I would say so. Judging by your social media followers, by the numbers alone, I would say you're doing pretty well so far. Um, so what do you know about your opponent? Let's get into the fight itself.
I don't know much. I know she's a little bit older than me. She has a lot more training experience. I don't know much about her ground or grappling game. I do know I've seen that she's a pretty technical boxer. I know that she also goes to a Muay Thai gym. I'm not sure if she's still there, but she goes to the Goat Shed. Well, at least for this fight camp, she's been going to the Goat Shed, which is, I believe, known for their grappling or judo. But I do know that she's more of a striker.
Okay. And obviously with your background, you being predominant with striking too, it doesn't seem like that'll be a problem for you, standing toe to toe. But I'm curious, how is your ground game evolving?
So my last fight, I actually lost. It was an MMA fight, and it's because
Split decision, right?
yes, it was a split decision. And all respect to my opponent, we're friends now. We've actually competed before that fight, but excuse me, she I don't think she could handle my striking. And what she did was grab me, pin me to the cage, hold me there, and it just wasn't natural for me to frame her, get her off of me, turn her around, or I wanted to create distance and continue striking. So that's how I ended up losing. So I have completely, like, my mindset has been grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. Like, I need to be ready for my next fight. And actually having this gym here, I've been inviting wrestlers, pure wrestlers, and we have been drilling in here for a few days a week. So it's I would say it's up to par now.
Nice. Feeling confident, needless to say.
Yes.
So I got to ask, if being put under pressure, how do you think the fight's going to go? You gave her credit with her boxing, but let's just fast forward to fight night. Ding, ding, round one. How do you predict this fight to go? And how do you see your hand being raised at the end of the night?
Well, like we talked about earlier, we don't have a lot of time to work, especially being teachers. I really want to utilize my grappling skills and use the fight because, as I learned from last fight, I need it. So I really do want to use my grappling, even though I know I'm the better striker. I want to utilize my grappling when I can. So I think she's not going to be able to handle my pressure and the type of fighter I am, which is in out, in out. And I think I'm gonna win with just being more active.
So what got you into fighting from the beginning? I'm curious because I mean, young, easy on the eyes, everything like that, and like what would make somebody want to get into that? Because you have your ring card girl background too, which you said you've done with XFN. You might go back to. We'll talk about that. But so, what made you get into combat sports?
Well, I've been an athlete my whole life. I started with more of the girly things like cheerleading, ballet, gymnastics. And I think my first contact sport was around like 7, and it was soccer. And ever since then, I've tried everything. I've tried softball, basketball, track. I've done it all. And I felt like there was always a point where I wasn't being challenged anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Into a stall. And I feel like with fighting, which I started out with boxing, kickboxing, I was just always challenged. I was always learning something every day. There was change every day. There was improvement every week. So I also have a Taekwondo background, which I used to do as a little girl. But ultimately, challenging myself, constantly improving, and having that diversity in my life has made me fall in love with martial arts.
So what's your end game as far as martial arts? Is it something that obviously you love and you're thriving on now, but do you have an end goal? Is it UFC? Like, where's your end goal with this?
I would definitely, you know, being an amateur and just taking fights as I go down the road, I'm definitely shooting for the UFC.
Right.
And I would love to fight in the UFC one day against other world class amazing fighters. But if there's one championship, there's a lot of these other promotions, and
right.
Where's going, and where's female fighting going? So, but yes, the ultimate goal right now would be the UFC. I'd like to get there one day.
And would you, with your kickboxing background, would you ever go back to just purely striking? I mean, maybe take like a kickboxing or Muay Thai bout in between MMA bouts?
Yes, definitely. I want to do that as an amateur a lot more. When I go pro, I want to, limit myself to MMA.
So I want to wind down. I don't want to keep you all day, but how is this quarantine? I want to try and figure out some kind of silver lining in all this, because everybody's down and out because they're stuck at home and everything. But is there anything that this quarantine and being kind of sheltered and stuck in that you've brought out to light? Maybe like learn from yourself?
Yeah. I've learned that a lot of things that we worry about aren't really that big of a deal. Also, being stuck in here has forced me to find different outlets, and especially with training here in the garage, I've just been a little bit more creative and kind of not doing a drill the way my coach does it or the way one of my teammates does it, but doing something the way I want to do it. So I'm creating my own style in here as well.
Could you foresee yourself, a lot of people say the champ, could you foresee yourself being a successful ring card girl and successful fighter both at the same time?
I don't know.
That'd be fun, right? You could be the first of its kind.
That would be really cool, actually. I definitely see myself pursuing fighting first and foremost, but also, I took a modeling class, like I think I was a teenager, but I can definitely do something with modeling or acting or stunt woman, anything like that. But hey, if Dana is okay with me being both, then why not?
All right, so I want to start closing it down, but let's say we're on fight night, like I said, and how do you see yourself winning that fight? If you had to be so bold, call your Babe Ruth shot, calling it out of the park. You win by knockout. You win by submission. What round? Let's get specific here.
Okay.
Be bold.
All right. I would say I would see myself, if I were, picturing this, I'm going to win. But second round, I want to finish with TKO ground and pound.
Nice. I love it. Now, like we said, you have a pretty decent social media following. So where can the fans keep up? Obviously, this fight is going to be on Flow Combat, so everybody that wants to tune in can check out there. But what's all your social media tags so all the fans can keep up with you for fight news down the future?
I am most active on Instagram. I just really like like the app and the platform. So on Instagram, my name is at Kat Noy 11, KATNOY 11. On Facebook, I'm Kathleen Noy Nelson. And on Snapchat, I'm Kat Noy 11. I don't really use Snapchat that much, but if you really want to keep up with me, Instagram is where to be.
Awesome. And how about sponsors? Do you have any of those to shout out? Team,
Yeah.
anything?
This is, they are based in Miami.
Fusion.
Yes, Fusion CBD products.
Nice.
He's from Miami.
Okay.
He came to my gym, Fusion, Excel Performance, and we talked, and he also found me on Instagram and XFN, and from there we hit it off. He's sponsoring me now. I've got CBD oil, CBD balms, CBD coffee. I also have Anstill Nutrition. They are a supplement company. They help me with my protein, BCAAs, pre-workout, cutting weight. And I also have a guy named Freddie from American Top Team East Orlando. He's my massage therapist, and he helps me out a bunch. He sponsors me for my fight camps, and it really helps just get through training and the fight camps a lot smoother.
Awesome. Well, Kat, I appreciate you taking the time. I definitely look forward to seeing the fight. It's going to be awesome. And best of luck. It's going to be fun seeing how you perform. And especially good luck to you when none of the fans are there. And it's going to be something new. Yeah. It's going to be exciting. Best of luck. I appreciate being on.
Super excited. May 30th. Tune into Flow Combat. And thank you for having me.
Not a problem. There she goes, Kat Nelson. And she is taking on Gloria DaCosta, like she said, on May 30th at XFN 28. And for Kat, I am Adam Christ, and make sure you keep it locked to mymmanews.com for all your fight news needs.